Hey everybody, and welcome back to Uru. We are on Onone, the real Onone, as we can see what this age is truly made of, the four spheres. And we actually have another answer to a question that has been with us since the very beginning of our travels through this age. And I don't believe I mentioned this in the last video, but we now know what the linking panel for the age book is showing us, and that's this giant waterfall. Which I have to assume is what provides power to this whole thing. Hydroelectric power, I guess. And that's probably what these pylons are all about for the tram ride here. Anyway, we also discovered this area here that I'm assuming Kadish took residence in, or at least hung out in. And here we've got a couple of things. A metronome or something. And we've also got this. So this here shows us some sort of dome with a hole, and then there's some lines, and then there's another container or something down here. And we can also see what appear to be drawings of, I guess, Barrow around here, along with the number 625. Alright. We've also got this Barrow stone here, so maybe this is somehow related to that. Looks like another Barrow cave. It is a Barrow cave, okay. There's another one of these number clues on the wall. 532. Let's input that. There we go. So what's this place for? Oh, it's another one of these square clues over here. That's nice, but we don't have the lines for reference. Wait a minute. We saw a Barrow cave earlier from... Yes, up there. We were in that cave earlier, weren't we? And that was the cave we went to when we linked from Arcana. And now, in Onone, we link to this one. Doesn't seem to be any path to the Starfisher or anything from here. So the question becomes, how are we going to get some light in here to read this... pattern on the wall? That seems to be the question of the hour here. Well, to answer that, we actually have to go reference that drawing and realize that the 625 and the little squiggly lines, as well as the metronome, all relate to time. And as you might recall, the Watcher's prophecy about the grower mentioned that the grower could travel through time. And what this Barrow cave is supposed to tell us is that it operates outside time, in that if you do something in one area, it happens 625 dunny time units later. I guess it's the beat of that metronome, although it seems to be twice as slow. It's not seconds, because they're definitely longer than seconds. But it happens about 14 and a half minutes or so in terms of our own seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to get one of these light pellet things, touch it, and then go to the cave and drop it. And then we're going to wait that amount of time inside the other Barrow cave. So you can see there the cave is lit up. So we need to go back to Onone, go back to the bottom cave, and wait until the place lights up. And I'm going to go ahead and start the clock. I'm going to set up a timer here. I should have done this before I started the video, but oh well. 0 hours, let's do 14 minutes. And we will start. Alright. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spend some of our time linking So yeah, this puzzle is very, very obtuse in my opinion. I guess you can kind of figure it out. I wish there was maybe a symbol on the drawing here that maybe matched this. And I don't know exactly. I mean, I guess that kind of resembles it, but it's very, very unclear. And I don't know what any of this stuff means. 725, 250, 410. I have no idea what any of that signifies. So, yeah. Maybe this is a timer itself? I think that's actually a timer to tell you how long 625 takes. I don't think that the beats are really meant to signify anything. So I guess if you listen to that for 14 minutes, you can then discover that that's the amount of time that elapses while it goes. It's basically an egg timer, I guess. Alright, I'm just going to leave this here in first-person mode, and I'll be back in about 12 minutes and 40 seconds, so I will see you then. Hey everybody, I am back. I've, as you can see here, got the key ready for when the light comes in, so we can take a picture of this. I don't really want to turn around because I don't want to miss much here. But yeah, you can see the pellet land in the water if you were turned around. So, yeah, we're just going to stand here and wait for the magic to happen. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll just stick in this position here. So I think the insinuation here is that the Borrow / Yisha can operate outside of time, which means that Yisha has to be the true grower, and that Kadish is the deceiver that was warned about in the words prophecies. Come on. We're about to hit the... Whoops. Oh, there we go. Come on. There we are. Alright, good. And, nope, I want to get out of this. There's all these cave drawings that you can look at here. I wish we had time to check them out. They certainly look really interesting, but unfortunately, the light only lasts for so long, so... Anyway, we have solved the Borrow double cave time puzzle. Yay! So that means there's only really one loose end left to tie up. Well, two loose ends, actually. And we're going to deal with one of them right now. And, oops, let's go back to third-person mode. And that is the nature of the number clues that we've been finding. And we'll just quickly review them, just to make sure we got them correct. Let's see. 1-4. Oh, apparently I missed one. 138. I don't know where that was. Okay. 189, we got that one. 218, 230, 232, which we didn't find in the game, but I remembered it existed. 366. That's apparently not correct. That's supposed to be 372. I don't know why I put 366. That's weird. 3110, 410, 452, 481, 496, 518, 532, and 557. Okay, those are all correct. So basically, I mistyped one of them apparently, and I missed another one entirely, which is really strange. I'm not sure where that one is. But the point is that these are all passages or verses, if you want to call them that, in words. And they all were pointed out to us for a reason. So let's find this. The door lies at the end of the path. That's 1-4. You're supposed to count the number of brackets. 138 is the passing of time brings the path to the gathered. 189, be still and the path will be made known. Then we go on to book 2. Book 2, let's see, line 18. The action of the gathered means nothing. 230, darkness makes the righteous humble and the evil bold. And then 230... Wait a minute. No, darkness comes at the end of time? That's 230... This is 232. Seek the path of the shell. Okay, I guess my notes are wrong. Then 372 is next. That's this one. And that one is... Where are you? Oh, come on. Is it here? Oh, wait, this is 4. Oh, no wonder. Okay, my bad. This is 3. Okay. Take time to understand the path of the shell. There it is. And then 3:110. The path of the stone is toil for the gathered. Okay, now we move to book 4. 4:10 is the number of the watcher is 625. All right, we have a bunch from book 4. 4:52 is the way is made clear at the end of time. Then 481, the future is always revealed to those who wait. Then 496 is rest in the light. Okay. Then let's go to book 5. We have 518, which is the gathered will find rest when the light comes. 532, roll the stone to know the deceiver. And then finally, 557, the path is folly for those who toil. Okay, so that seems to relate to the second thing, that's the second loose end that we still get to tie up, which has to do with the path of the shell puzzle that we read about in the notebook that Kadish set up, and apparently he performed the solution out of sight for everybody when they watched, and was able to make it through. So let's go and check the Watchers... Oh wait, we can't go through here, can we? We have to go through... That's right. I keep forgetting the Watcher's Sanctuary is a separate book. Alright, let's do that then. Okay. This book. There we go. Haven't been here in a while. Let's see what we can do. This is the hopefully final piece of the puzzle. So it seems like these words from words suggest that the obvious solution is not the correct solution, and that we need to do some waiting, and that the number 625 is related to this puzzle. Let's see. There's a control somewhere around here. Here it is, right here. I believe this closes the door. And I think this also resets the stone back to the start, but the conditions of the puzzle are still the same. There it is. And basically, what you need to do here is simply wait. We read about the number being 625. We read about resting in the light. And we read that rolling the stone is the way of the deceiver and is not the correct answer. So in actuality, you need to simply rest in the light, which is already shining on us, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start the timer once again for 14 minutes. And I'll come back after we have done resting in the light, and hopefully something really, really cool will happen. So I'll be back. Hey everybody, I'm back. We've got about 33 seconds left on my clock. I'm not sure how that compares to the actual clock. But speaking of clocks, you'll notice that there is something that looks like a clock in the corner over there to the left of us. And it's even got the Anone symbol on it. The Anone symbol was also the one that I mentioned earlier in the game when we were looking at those murals in Eater Chemo. Apparently the Barrow know about the... That is what I was waiting for. There is a secret ladder that opened up here. I don't believe that the door over there opened up, but let's go see what's going on up here. Alright. Hopefully we won't fall off. I guess if we do, that'd be fine, right? Because we're trying to get around the stone in the first place. But it looks like this is where we would need to go. There's a control here. And a bridge extends. I wonder what would have happened if you did fall off. I haven't really tried that. Because you obviously had to press that button. Okay. I think this is the path to the tree. And there's a shawl cloth in here. I think this is the first time we've seen one of these here in the Watcher's Sanctuary. Ooh, and there's also a square pattern thing over here. Let's take a picture of this one. This is some really haunting music. Alright. So what do we do here? There's a button here. What does that do? Did that close the way? I mean, that seems to be one of those reset buttons. I guess I turned the lights off. Maybe that resets the path of the shell puzzle. Either way, let's walk the path of the shell. I'm not sure how exact you have to be with this. There we go. So where does this take us? We're in some sort of chamber. There's a button here. Hey, wait a minute. This looks familiar. It's the Myst library! Check it out! Wow! Everything's still here. Well, most everything at least. The door is closed, so we can't look outside. But we can see the tower rotation map, or at least a broken version of it. We can definitely still see the spots where the red and the blue books were burnt away. The painting is broken. That's kind of a bit of a bummer. We can't go to the tower. We can get what I believe is Catherine's outfit from Riven. But that seems to be all we can do here. The paintings don't work. The books aren't around. Even the books that used to be here on this shelf are now gone. And there is nothing. Alright. Well, there is one place that we can go to, and that's the fireplace. You know what would be fun to try out? Let's put in the combination from Myst. Let's see if I can remember it. I used to have this memorized. It's like do 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 do, and it was like something like this, I believe. I know that there was that there. I think you actually had to go all the way there. Okay, something tells me that that's not complete. Let me check the answer. Oh, there's one more square. We missed just one square, guys. Alright, not bad. Let's see here. Does that still take us to the green book? No, but it takes us to a Relto page that I guess adds a fireplace to our Relto, so that's cool. Alright, well, that was neat. But that's obviously not why we're here. We need to enter the pattern that we've been building this whole time. So let me go back to our photos. And let's figure this out. So, starting with this one, it seems like we've got a square that is 3 from the right at the top. And then there's this formation there. So let's enter these in one at a time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So that should be right, and then, yeah, that should be right. And I think that, hopefully that's correct. I think there actually might be an additional space there. Let's do that instead. Alright. Yeah, because this looks like that's the bottom right there, so that would make the most sense. Alright, so next up we've got this one. I'm assuming that is the very top right here, which means that this is 1 square to the right and down from the very top left, and then 1 square to the right and 2 down of that. The question is, how many squares is this? I guess this is 1 from the right, so let's run with that and see what we can do. Okay, there we go. So is that correct? Hopefully that's correct. I'm going to see if this how this compares to the actual solution by the time we're done with that. Okay, this one is interesting. We've got 1 on the far left, 1 from the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, to the right of that. And then 1 at the very top right, 1 space from the right. Let's see how that goes. Okay, there we go. I think that's correct. Okay, this one is interesting. Looks like we've got 1 at the very 3rd space from the top left. 1 down here. Okay, this one's got 4, so we're going to need to really be careful here. Top 2, and then this one, it looks like there's kind of an L that goes down there, so let's go with that. Wait, what was the one? Okay, that's the one down there. Okay. Like that, I believe. And then there. Let's run with that. Alright, and what's the next one? Oh, the original one. Is this it? So the very top left, and then 1, how are we going to calculate this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 to the right. Okay, I think I got it. Like that, and I think that, I believe that is the answer. Let's check that and see if that's correct. These are correct, that's correct. It's all correct. Alright, let's press the button and see what happens. Let me get rid of this here. Wait, isn't that the same direction we turned earlier when we got the Relto page? How did that work? Maybe something else is rotating. But either way, there's a linking book here. And it links to Kavir. I wonder if this is the exact same linking book that Atris, we talked to Atris through at the end of Myst. Well, either way, let's go check it out. Certainly a very significant location in the Myst saga.
Words fulfilled. Do you believe? I have taken time. You know his body no longer lies in his vault. I have seen new life, his new life, and I have followed the shell, round and back again. I taught you the same. What will grow? The tree of all things. Who will grow it? The grower. I will grow it. The grower is the one who leads, so you will follow me. Who links at will? The grower.
Ooh, she's apparently linking us at will.
The grower banishes the darkness and brings light to the cavern. Have you seen the light? To think they believed him with such... It is I who command light. Light. Rest in the light. Sing in the time of joy. Call in the time of dark. Weep in the time of pride. And take my hand again, young one. Time conquered. Light to darkness, linking without books. You have done well. You have seen words fulfilled. But still more to be fulfilled. There is a new tree. Do you believe?
And that is it. I kind of wish we got a little more closure with Yisha as the grower, although this is more or less followed up in Myst 5. But here she kind of sounds a little too proud of herself. But thankfully this gets followed up on later. And there's some new stuff here that wasn't here earlier. One is Atris's clothes, which is pretty cool. Another one is a Relto page, which gives us plants, I guess. And a letter from Yisha. Father, I know you cannot hear me, yet I must write to you. In my heart you will hear my voice, the voice of your desert bird. Words written to me, for me, and of me. Who would believe that the tree would die so that I could grow it again? You always did. Your desert bird was so much more, and I understand you now. You know, though I did not. Now I know. I know much, Father. I have learned of the death. I am powerful, Father. I have seen new life and breathed it forth myself. And I go now to become the grower. If only you could see, perhaps you do. 3:118, 2:45 to 55. I am Yisha. I am the grower. Thank you, Father. Your burden is lifted. That's nice. I appreciate that a little more than the speech at the end. Honestly, the tone of the speech was a little too self-aggrandizing for my taste. And these doors are closed. There is one thing that we can follow up on, though. The passages that she, or the numbers that she mentioned are passages in words, which I believe are the ones about the grower. This one is kind of open, but we still can't go through it. Nah, can't go through that one. But there's one other thing, that is something Yisha said, where she mentioned his body no longer lies in his vault. Well, that certainly wasn't the case the last time we were there, in Kadish's vault, so let's go ahead and look at it. Let's also take a look at our new stuff. We've now got some greenery here on Relto. Looks a lot nicer, a lot less dry and barren. As well as the fireplace out here, which is pretty cool. Probably don't want to climb inside that one. Alright, so let's go to Kadish, to Lisa, and you can also see a Myst book here. By the way, is Kavir now added as a link into the Agura book? Curious about that. We did use a linking book, so I don't know if that would show up. Yes, it does show up. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's use the Journey Cloth in Kadish. Seems like things look mostly the same, but as it turns out, there is one new thing here. And it is over here. A linking book. A linking book that takes us to the vault, but a much different vault. There's no treasure, or at least barely any treasure in here. Butterflies are flying around, and no more Kadish. And now we've got a cool Viking helmet. And a note, these are the powers of gods, and I now have this power. Another note. I've saved his life. I have conquered, I believe, the stream. These streams, said to flow of their own will, now flow where I something, maybe declare. Okay, that's that note. Is that it? I think that's it. That seems like Yisha has some kind of supernatural power that she used to bring Kadish back to life or something. It's kind of unclear what this is. I guess this is the Grower theme song. And I believe there's one more Relto page for us to get. It's much more easy to navigate up here. Oop, there's something down here. Oh, this is it. Just make one more pass through here just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Ooh, something's there. Yep, that looks like that's all. We can go out here to the entrance to the vault, but as you can see, it's broken off. I don't know if it's just been decayed in the meantime. Maybe this is in the future at some point. But we can try making this jump, but I don't believe there's any way you can make it. Yeah, there's like an invisible wall right there. Unless... Can you? No. I just want to see if I can jump off. Yeah, you can't even walk down the beams. Aw. It's kind of a bummer. I want to jump off. Oh well. Let's go ahead and link back to Relto. Because we have finished our journey. That is it for Uru. So, we can take a look at our butterflies here while I talk about our my final thoughts on the game. So what do I think of this game? Especially as it relates to the rest of the Myst games. There's our butterflies right there. Basically, I really like this game a lot. I know fan reaction and opinions to this game are very mixed, and to be honest, my opinion is somewhat mixed as well. But overall, I do enjoy this game. I think it is a worthy addition to the Myst canon. Even though it does kind of exist outside the Myst canon in a sense, since it takes place in the modern day, and references the Myst games in this instance of the universe, if you want to call it that. The idea of this game, I think, is probably the best part of it. I really do enjoy the idea of the online component of this game, and in some ways that's one reason why it is half a good game, but it definitely feels incomplete. The original game was certainly built to be a teaser for the online component, and the expansions were built to wrap up everything that never got to be shown in the online component, along with Myst 5. And this is sad, because I kind of wish we got to see this saga with the DRC unfold across a longer period of time. But alas, we did not, and that's kind of a bit of a shame. And that's probably my biggest complaint about the game, is that we don't really get to know Yisha that well. And I wish we did, because the speech at the very end, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't find all that satisfying. I mean, yes, it is an ending, but in some ways it isn't. I mean, even the end text of perhaps the ending has not yet been written indicates as much. And her character development gets a little more work in Myst 5, which oddly enough takes place after this. But I wish it happened here, considering just how long this game is. But overall, I did enjoy, if there's one thing I really enjoyed about this game, it's the way the worlds were built, and the fact that Cyan put clearly a lot of effort into developing the world building and the lore of the Myst universe in this game. Just being able to walk around the Dunny Caverns is a treat. I really do enjoy that. And just being able to explore these places and find out about Dunny history, all of that, in my opinion, outweighs most of the bad stuff. Most of the shortcomings, I should say. Maybe not bad stuff. I particularly like the way that you've discovered more about each of the ages, particularly the ages in the base game, but especially Anone in the expansion. I think that is a masterclass of design and puzzle integration with the environments. I also have some mixed feelings about the Borrow. I do appreciate the exploration of new powers and things you can do with linking books and whatnot, but too often in this game I feel like Yisha and the Borrow are basically used as excuses to show off some really, weird game mechanics, at least weird in the in-universe sense. It's essentially the Myst equivalent of a wizard did it, or whatever that trope is called. And I think that's fine, for the most part, but it kind of got a little long in the tooth after a little while. But it's a very minor thing for me. Overall, the actual Dunny lore outweighs that. And even though this game was made back in 2003 and the graphics aren't really up to par with today's standards, I do feel like these graphics are still pretty good. I mean, you still get the art style coming through pretty strongly, and I really, really enjoy that a lot. As far as some of the things that people complain about when it comes to this game, particularly the puzzle element, or not the puzzle elements, the platforming elements, I don't really mind this so much. In fact, I'm going to try to jump out here, see what we can... I did not mean to do that. I'm going to try to jump to those islands, though, while I talk about this part. I'm thankful that, for the most part, this is not that much of a factor in the game, but the sad thing about it is that the game is somewhat buggy and weird when it comes to movement, and this does ruin the experience a bit. There we go. Let's see if we can make it to the next one. I think we're going to have to get a running start for this. Come on. Yeah, we made it. Okay, how far can we take this, guys? I want to see. There we go. No! I wanted to get a view. Oh, I should have turned around. Oh, well. Anyway, I really like this game a lot. It's, for the world building and just the amount that it added to the Myst universe, I think it's an amazing game. And I highly recommend just checking it out and going through it on your own, because it really is a nice solitary experience, even if the online component is lacking a little bit. And can I get to the clock? I want to see if I can get all the way to the clock. I'm sure people have done it, but I want to see if it's possible. Okay. Heck yes! Alright, now I'm going to look at the view. There it is, everybody. The final view of Uru right there. All the work we've put in. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see our tree grow all the way, but we can see the completed one on Phil's Relto, so I'm not complaining too much. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end things right here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate your support of this Let's Play. I had a lot of fun making these videos. If you enjoyed yourself, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell to get notified of the next adventure. But until that point, I will catch you on the flip side.